White people need black people's money. That's not a racial statement. That's an economic one. And is the single biggest protection black Americans have against a return to institutional segregation. Not laws, not politicians, money. Let me show you exactly what it is I mean. I'm Healthcare Henry, finance degree from Morehouse College in Atlanta, and over a decade building in the healthcare industry. I talk about systems, how they actually work, and I actually want you to know how they work versus what people tell you. Today, we're talking about economic power, race, and what actually keeps this country from going backwards. Segregation wasn't just a moral failure. It was also eventually an economic one. When you force an entire group of people out of your economy, out of your hospitals, your restaurants, your banks, your schools, you think you're protecting something. But what you're actually doing is cutting off a revenue stream. Black Americans built parallel economies out of necessity. Greenwood in Tulsa, Sweet Auburn in Atlanta, Black Wall Street. Those weren't just symbols. It was a proof that when you're locked out, you build your own door. Those economies thrived until they were destroyed, not by the market, but by violence and policy. What changed over the last 60 years is not corporate America figured out what black communities already knew. Black spending power is not an optional revenue. It's a core revenue source. Black Americans represent over 1.6 trillion in annual buying power. That number is projected to reach 1.8 trillion within the next few years. To put that in context, that would make Black America the 15th largest economy in the world if it were its own country. Nike, McDonald's, Apple, Ford, JP Morgan, these companies do not have a black customer strategy because they care about diversity statements. They have it because losing that market share cost them billions, literally billions. The NBA's entire business model relies on black athletes and black culture. The music industry, pop, hip hop, R&B, is built on black creativity, fashion, film, food. The cultural exports that make American brands globally dominant are disproportionately black in origin. So when I say white people need black people's money, what I mean is this. The infrastructure of American capitalism now requires black participation to function at its current scale. That is not charity. That is leverage. Now, here's where I'll be very precise because I want to be honest with you. I'm not saying racism is over. It is not. I'm not saying discrimination doesn't happen because it does. It's in housing, it's in lending, it's in healthcare, it's in criminal justice system. I'm not naive. But what I am saying is that the economic incentive structure has shifted in a way that makes large-scale, institutional, legal segregation economically catastrophic for the corporations and industries that would otherwise be architects.